Okay, very good afternoon, students. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Sorry, students, there's a slight technical glitch. Yes, sir. Okay, so welcome everyone. So today's topic that what we'll be going through is online interviews. So I hope I'm audible to everyone. Okay, thank you so much. So is the screen visible? Okay. So what do you understand by online interviews? Usually you would have seen some of the interviews going on in the company cabins or with the HRs, isn't it? So, what do you understand by online interviews? How? Just give me a wild guess how the online interviews takes place. Anybody? See, online interviews are those interviews that is conducted through a specific mediate, say for example, be it Google Meet or be it with their own servers. Different companies would be having their own servers or their own platforms of taking the interviews, isn't it? So they tend to take your interview sessions. Say for example, if you're way too far from the company where you cannot attend, if you are in one corner and the company is in another corner and you are not able to take interviews, the companies use these kind of platforms. Okay, so let's keep getting further. So what we'll be learning in this agenda is four things. First thing is online interview, then what are its objectives and importance, and what different types of online interviews that we would be learning, and what are the advantages and disadvantages that we would be proceeding further. Okay. And before I get into the topic, let me be clear, guys. I want the session to be completely interactive because only then you will get to know what exactly that you'll be learning today. Okay, this is the final session and it would be very interesting. And please keep this in mind that this whatever your Learning today will be very much helpful for you in the future, how you can crack the interviews. Okay. I want you to keep asking me questions. You can stop me at any moment and you can keep asking your doubts, whatever you get it in between. All right. So let's keep getting further. So we'll start with the introduction. What exactly is online interviews? Different companies having its own ways of taking the interview rounds. When it comes to online interviews, there are many types. Okay, there are many types of or there are many procedures how they take the students. I think I'm audible now. Okay, so how they tend to take the interview process. There are certain companies who take 3 or 4 rounds, and that doesn't happen in one day. They would be taking a month of time where they would they would be conducting interviews for pan India. Say, for example, recently there was a interview that was done. There was an online interview that was taken by Accenture for a some kind of technical role. So it was a online interview. Have you ever knew that how they took? It was a specific platform where they tend to take online tests. They were given online tests with a limited time where they tend to answer those questions, and before, if they are not they have been given with a specific code where they can start with the interview, whether they would be eligible, uploading all the documents. Just see how online interviews go ahead. When it comes to offline, it is just that you just go sit in front of the HR or you place your documents, and then it would go with an interaction, isn't it? So that is how online interviews go through. There are different companies, not just Accenture. There are different companies who use different kinds of platforms. Some of them make use of Google Meet, some of them make use of WebEx, some of them make use of their own platform of taking the interviews, where the person is given particular instructions telling you are not supposed to use mobile hotspot, so that if there's any disturbance with the internet, then they would not wait, they would get further. So what are the importance of online interviews? Carrying out interviews with very geographically and dispersed population. When it comes to online interviews, what are its importance is, though you are in whichever location in India or it might be in any other place, you can take the interviews pan India. You can take the interviews wherever you are sitting in. Okay, there need not be specific location. Say, for example, if a company is in Bangalore and you're staying in Hyderabad or Chennai or Mumbai or whichever place, okay, you can take the interview just with on online surface, where you have to dress up properly, and then you'll have to give your interview for whatever the job role that you have been assigned for. Make sure that your resume is well versed with the company you're sharing it to. Okay, and it provides fast and cheap alternatives for personal interviews, especially when it comes to companies. They tend to have their own kinds of VPN, they tend to have their own platforms where you can have a face to face interaction. Did you know there are companies where they tend to see the specifications of a laptop or a PC also to take interviews? There should be certain processor speed so that it can support to take the online interviews. Just look how many varieties are there. So it one of the other importance is, it provides savings in costs to researchers. Examples, for example, you need not to travel anywhere, or you need not Okay, I'm sorry for that. So you need not travel anywhere. It is called as venue hiring, where you would be in one place and then you would be hired, and everything goes online. Okay. Interview individuals or groups who are often difficult to reach, such as less physical, mobile, or disabled, or socially isolated. Say, for example, when it is COVID situation, this happened a lot. When they are in isolated, they also tend to apply for the job, and they have also got the job where they were in an isolated place, and then they tend to take the job opportunities. So these are some of the types of online interviews. Okay, one is synchronous, one is asynchronous, one is structured, and the other one is unstructured. Students, please give me a moment. Okay. So, what is synchronous? What do you understand by synchronous? Anyone? I want the answers to be in the chat. You can mention it on the chat. Students, the more you interact with me, the more you learn. Okay, please try to interact with me. Please be active and answer. Even if it is wrong, there's not an issue. You can please give me answers. Only then I will understand whether you people are getting the points, what I'm explaining it or not. If it's a one-way session, then you would not be interested in listening to the session. This is very highly important for you people to crack the interviews. What do you understand by synchronous? Okay. So synchronous interviews are nothing but the interview goes on a conversational style. It is nothing just like a casual interview where they would uh, type the messages and then send it to you. Okay, where you try to interact with the interviewer using a messaging platform. Okay, why is this kind of interviews done? Anyone can answer me? Okay, so it depends on the way you communicate. Mohammad Yassi, no idea, sir. All right. So synchronous online interviews are done because to check how well you can frame the sentences. Though they might be sending you messages with kind of a recorded messages or instant replies for whatever you're replying, but still they will check your the way you frame the questions, the way you frame the answers, isn't it? It is similar like an online interview, but the thing is they will check your vocabulary. They will check how well are you interacting with the person, how humble are you. You have to show your humbleness even in when you're chatting with someone. You cannot use smileys when you're using this kind of techniques. Okay, what is asynchronous type of interview? It is an online interview that takes place when the researcher and the participants are not online at the same time. This usually happens in due to emails or due to other technical reasons. This would take place. What is a structured interview? Can anyone answer for this? What do you understand by structured interview? What kind of structure do they follow? Okay, structured interview in the sense they have certain tuck. They have certain divisions where they would try to segregate the candidates. Say, for example, now in if the person is given an ID to take the online interview, say for example, if there are three stages where you have to clear the interview, the company would frame the interviews in three different stages. Say for example, one would be for aptitude, one would be for uh, some other technical round if you are being hiring for the technical profile, and the last would be for face to face. So this is how they keep it structured, where the if you have been hiring for one particular job, they would be having all kinds of questions what they would prefer to ask you for suitable for that job profile. Now if the job which you have been provided is from 5 o'clock in the evening till morning around 4:30 or whatever the timings it is, they'll not try to say that this is your shift timings. They'll try to ask whether you are flexible. How flexible are you for timings? Would you be able to work for any other shift timings allocated to you? So they'll be having it is they won't be having specific questions, but based on the profile they will be having the questions frame. They will be having structure, how well they you can answer. If the package is for this much, they will try to cross question you. Will you be what is your expectation on the salary package based on this? Okay, unstructured interview. For this there is no specific profile. Say for example, if there are 4 to 5 designations that is available in the company, and you are having all four qualities for all four profiles, what they tend to do is they tend to check you with unstructured manner. They'll check you with different types of question. They try to have a normal kind of conversation. They'll try to cover what all topics that they could do so that you are suitable for that profile. Finally they will choose you for that kind of profile. Okay, am I being clear? So if there's any kind of doubts, please feel free to ask me. Okay, so what are the main advantages? The interviews can feel more confident in their known environment. Most of you have this fear when you're facing a face to face interview round with a HR. Most of you tend to have that fear that you start sweating, or you tend to worry a lot. You tend to panic due to first time that you're facing the interview. You don't know what to answer, isn't it? All these kind of things comes to your mind. So when you are in a known location, when you're sitting in your own room at the training platform, and the platform is on live, say for example platform is on uh, Google Meet or whatever it is, you can feel confident. You feel that you can answer it. You feel confident to answer what questions is being asked. They can save time, energy, and money by not having to traveling to the interview venue. Say, for example, when you're in the normal HR, when you're going to attend the interview, if your timing is being given for 10 o'clock sharp in the morning and you're supposed to be there 10 or 15 minutes before, isn't it? When it comes to online, do you have to follow that? No, it saves a lot of time for you. When it is 10 dot, you can get ready even 5 minutes before checking with the internet or whatever the facilities given to you by logging into the code, whatever provided by the company. Okay, so interview scheduling becomes much easier. When it comes to company point of view, when they are given a specific time, even they would try to take the interview at that moment of time. There would not be any kind of delay, or there won't be any kind of interruptions in between. Okay, then interviewees can use software that is easily available on internet. Now, do you think all these Google, this Cisco or WebEx or Zoom would be installed? No. The company sends you a specific link of their platform where you can download it for free of cost and then install it and run the program to attend the interview. Many consider online interviews are easier to deal with than in personal interviews. When you're giving an online interview, most of you tend to open up so that they can judge properly whether you are uh, able to answer whatever is being asked. But when it comes to live, you tend to get nervous. You don't know what to answer. You'll be in a closed room, having an interaction, direct interaction with the HR, isn't it? So these are some of the advantages. There are many more advantages which is useful for the candidates as well for the company point of view. So let's get further. What are the disadvantages? So what kind of disadvantages usually a candidate might face apart from these 5 points? Anyone can give me an answer? What different kinds of disadvantages you would face due to online interviews? Students, I want you to respond. So, what are the normal disadvantages that you face? First thing, when it comes to online interviews, the internet facilities might be less. Okay, and some of the other candidates who are very well talented, very well knowledgeable, very well suitable for the profile may not be having so many equipments like laptop or PC, or he would be in a remote area where he would not be getting proper network due to that. So in case of written online interviews, it often gets difficult for the interviewers to assess the interview, isn't it? What are the disadvantages? So that the company cannot evaluate what answers you have been giving, what situations when they give you, you don't understand what to answer. Making a good impression is more difficult in online interviews compared to in person. When it comes to online, most of the time, as I told, there would be a technical glitch or there might be a network issue where you would be communicating but the person there would not be able to hear it, so where you cannot create your own impression. you cannot have a proper conversation with the HR interview. Okay, often online interviews turn out to be inconvenient because of low internet speed and disturbance in the line. As I told you, when there are too many technical glitches happening, or even if the system is quite slow and the candidate is not able to speak what he is able to deliver, at that time what happens? The HR would slide just he would close the interview telling there is a network issue, though he might be the good uh, deserving candidate for the profile. Okay, some employers do not have the quality websites. Not all companies will have their own websites to take the interview. They would use another platforms like Zoom, or might be on Google Meets, where there would be too much of server hang in between, and it can cause for candidates to apply for the job. Online interviews are usually very impersonal in nature. If in case there is some problem, like as it happened few days ago, where a Google had a complete server down, where none of the Google applications were working. So in that situations, when there is some important meetings happening, or in case if there's completely drop in the website, so it would be highly disadvantageous for the person. Things to be noted: make sure that when you're in online interview, it is uh, make sure that you're dressed up very well, especially. Okay, don't do this, especially boys. When it comes to boys, they tend to wear formal shirts and short, they would be wearing shorts underneath. Please don't do that. Okay, not all interviews you would be facing right in front of the laptop and you would be talking. There are certain interviews which happen, they tend to tell you to sit little far, where your whole body posture would be visible, and to see how you're making hand gestures. Okay, so while in a video interview, make sure that your eyes are on the camera, not on the monitor. Most of you tend to see monitors where what the person is talking. When you're in direct, what do? You tend to have an eye contact. Similarly, you just face to the camera, because at that at the other point they would be recording the session. If it's not, if I'm not wrong, they would be recording how well you've answered. Because when you're looking at the monitor, they tend to see that you're looking at something else and then you're answering it to me. Okay, so make sure that you have a decent sound system and good internet connection. Not all the systems would be having a proper mic or a speaker. Make sure that you're using a proper noise cancellation headphones in case if the system mic is not working. Okay, and also as I told, make sure that you're using better internet when you're facing these kind of online interviews. Because see, this might sound silly, but these are very minute things that might affect in future. Okay, while on a voice or video interview, you should be in a quiet room. Make sure there is no other disturbances happening in and around. Make sure there is no any pet coming and annoying you, or kid coming and annoying you when you're in an interview. Make sure it is a quiet place, because that is mainly on concentrated on your career. Okay, try not to ask your interviewer to repeat the question. Why this happens is because of poor internet connection, isn't it? When there is no proper when there is no proper interaction happening because of low internet, you tend to ask, can you please repeat the question? That means they would not be having so long time to keep repeating the questions until and unless you they can hear your tone. Okay, so these are some of the things that you will have to keep it in mind. Okay, and business networking. What do you understand by business networking? Can anyone tell me what are the kinds of business networkings that are available in the platform? What kind of business networkings you can proceed? Anyone? Students, am I being audible? Okay. So in this, we'll be learning about what are the introductions for the business networking and what are the importance and which are some of the types of networking groups that are available and what kinds of platforms it would be visible for you so that you can go through this networking platforms. Networking can be started off and what are its benefits. Students, is it visible? So before we start off, what are the kinds of networking, business networking that you have gone through? Business networking is the process of establishing a mutually beneficial relationship with business people and potential clients or customers. This you would be learning when you come to the corporate world. Okay. Students, is the screen visible? Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So please be very interactive. This is very much important. The upcoming points, what you would be learning is very much important. Okay. So what are the importance? Business networking is an effective, low cost marketing method for developing sales. As usual, everyone does this networking, isn't it? Where you tend to find new people, you try to interact with them, isn't it? The similar way when it comes to business networking, you tend to represent your company. Okay, you tend to represent your company. You seek opportunities where you can find better output for the company, where you tend to sell opportunities, uh, and you try to build your brand image. Okay, and a business network of contact is both a route to market for an individual and a marketing method. Sorry, students, there's a lot of technical glitch happening, so that's the reason I think the screen went off. Okay, so beginning with the networking. So, how do you start your networking? First thing is customers and clients. When you're into marketing field, especially, you tend to find customers and clients for the firm. Whenever you're selling a product, students or public or children or the professionals, isn't it? So you should try to build a trustworthy. When you're selling your company belongs to a pen or stationery, who are your target customers? The stationery people, the retail stationaries are the first priority for you. They are the lifeblood of the business. Without them, having so many business doesn't make any sense. One should build trustworthy and positive relationships with them. Okay. Second thing is alumni and former classmates. When you were classmates, all of you would be friends, and that is how you build your relationship. Okay. You tend to have so many friends who would be with different profiles, isn't it? All your friends would be in very nice profiles, and you try to have a contact with them, and you try to have a interaction with your seniors who are in the many other positions where you can grab opportunities in building networks, isn't it? When you're searching for a job itself, you try to ask so many seniors, telling, can you recommend me for a job in any other company, isn't it? So one should seize the opportunity to link up with the people. When you have to build a network, you should be highly extrovert. Only when you are highly extrovert and you are completely interactive with most of the people, only then you can build business. If you are hesitating to talk to anyone, then it is of no use. Then, when it comes to third point, office colleagues and co-workers. How will a business network improve when it comes to colleagues and co-workers? Most of the colleagues who've been there will be having work experience, or they would be having another. Now if you know 10 people and your friend knows 10 people, when you have a conversation with him, don't you think you get another 10 people additional, be it even if it's colleague, or you tend to drag information with him, what are the resources that you can build, isn't it? Within internal, no need to walk around here and there, and you need not find out. You can find people just within in and around the office. Then like-minded people. What do you mean by like-minded people? Where you tend to find those kind of people who have the same thinking ability as you have, who have the same uh, techniques and methods to attract people, where he would be having the same similar kind of clients, where he can share it with you, where you will be having finding a person or people who's having the same kind of mindsets that suits to your business, isn't it? Next is family. Family members can be the best resource, especially I can say, when it comes to networking opportunities. Why? Because you never know who would be helpful. Just throw a pebble telling that this is the session that you have, this is the product that you want to sell. Can you give me some clients? What are your clients? When you have an interaction with them, you tend to get some more opportunities, isn't it? Then people you meet in different ways. Say for example, unfamiliar people where you don't even know them. You're just trying to meet the strangers, where you don't even have an interaction with those people, and then you tend to uh, You tend to have a conversation with them telling this is how it is, how the things are going, isn't it? Then you try to build a rapport with them, then you tend to explain about the business, isn't it? So what are the benefits in business networking? Not everyone have the same kind of knowledge, how to interact with people, or how to uh, grab attention of the people, or how to build a rapport with the specific person. Okay, so new contacts and referrals. So the most obvious benefiting of network is to meet potential clients and generate referrals. Especially this happens when it comes to job market. When a person is working in the company provides him as a referral code. That is, now say for example, if I am attending an interview with where my friend has referred, I will be using my friend's employee code where he's already been working over there, and then I tend to attend the interview telling I have been referred by so and so person, and I have come here to attend for this job profile. So that is how you get you get contacts, and you're trying to enter with referrals. Then confidence and morale. So most business people are optimistic and are positive. Regularly associating with such people can be a great morale boost. When you're having that confidence to interact with whatever kind of target you have, you can proceed further easily and you can try to build a rapport, isn't it? Then sharing knowledge and experience. When you want to build interaction, when you're sharing your own knowledge, you try to get some more knowledge by having a conversation with a person who is highly knowledgeable than you are. So that is some kind of benefit. When you are just sharing, having a normal conversation, and still you tend to get the points. Then the student's guide to LinkedIn. Before I Before I start up with this LinkedIn, how many of you have the LinkedIn accounts? Why is this LinkedIn needed? Anyone? What is this LinkedIn exactly? How many of you have the LinkedIn accounts? LinkedIn is a social platform where you tend to find lots and lots of professional people in this social media. It is similar to Facebook, Instagram, where you just tend to post very less information, or you tend to post about entertainment stuff. But when it comes to LinkedIn, it is completely a professional platform where you tend to find all kinds of company CEOs, all kinds of profiles which is suitable. You can apply for job. Okay, Anjali Tokare, nice. You have an LinkedIn account. So it is similar to a kind of Instagram ID where I can uh, relate it with. Where when it comes to Instagram, what do usually people tend to find? Not likes. Okay, Shweta Chavan, very nice to know that even you have a LinkedIn account. Most of you tend to have followers in Instagram, right? Similar way, even in this, you tend to find connects. So let's, with no further delay, let's proceed further. So, before we get into LinkedIn, when you're leaving the college is very hard, isn't it? So, at that moment, luckily, there is a place where you can start your career, where you can update each and everything, where you can update your personal information or what you tend to share with people, share knowledgeable news. You can improve your profile, what projects you have done, you can include that. So LinkedIn can be used for both personal and professional life. Okay. So build your professional brand. How do you build your professional brand? You tend to share your information. See, not all the companies just look for your marks or just don't look for your academics. Yes, that is also very much important. But more than that, what else do you have? What else do you, what kind of knowledge do you have? Where you tend to build your professionalism, how professional you be, isn't it? What are you going to uh, put in the LinkedIn profiles, isn't it? Where most of them, when LinkedIn is such a kind of platform where you tend to find recruiters more working on LinkedIn rather than other job portals. If you're in LinkedIn, you'll get very good profiles. You get very beautiful profiles with a variety of opportunities. Okay, where 9 out of 10 company recruiters use LinkedIn. Did you know that? Most of them, in when it comes to the different online portals where you tend to post only your resume, and none of them will be knowing, because there are every Tom, Dick, and Harry will be uploading his resume in uh, the job portals, Naukri or Times Jobs or whatever it might be. Most of them keep placing their profiles, but very few of them keep postings in LinkedIn. Why? Because LinkedIn is certified. They get to know that yes, this is the right person, where you have done all whatever is in the resume that would be in this. So I will tell you how it is advantageous for you. Here's how you can get recruiters attention. So first thing is, five things that your profiles must consider is your profile photos. First thing, when it comes to profile photos, please do not post any modeling kind of photos or any kind of things that you're wearing in different uh, either being funky or anything. Let it be highly professional. Doesn't mean that you have to post your passport size photographs. Please don't take it that way. You have to be professional. Make sure that you're in a good attire. Make sure that you're well groomed, and then you upload the profile picture. Then comes to your education, where you have done. Each and every colleges will be registered in LinkedIn, so that you can upload this year I have graduated, and there will be a certain link provided to you where your information would be carrying. If you're having a work experience, try to upload that work experience. Whatever is in the resume, it is kind of a digital resume for you. Okay, so let's keep getting further. First thing is education. The most important thing in LinkedIn, that you have to update your education. What education that you have been completed, how many years of education, what is the year of passed out, which is the university that you have been graduated, isn't it? All these things has to be posted. Then add major and degree. If you're having master degree, yes, you can put that your master degree. Include in clubs. Say, for example, if you have done an NCC or NSS or any of the cultural activities, or be it any kind of what do you say, any kind of club activities that you have done, or whatever the things that you have earned, isn't it? What kind of activities that you, that shows how active you are. Okay. Second thing is photo, where you make your first impression. Profile with photos get 21 times more views on the average. You get a logo for it once you are recognized. The more connections you have, the more recruiters keep looking at you. Okay, it's just you alone. There should not be any kind of group photos. Okay, and have a neutral background. Don't have some kind of club or party culture where you're standing behind graffiti walls or anything. Don't have such kind of profiles. Okay, make sure only your face or till the shoulder is being visible. Then coming to your experience, once you're experienced, you can also upload the company where you've been working for, so that it becomes easy for the companies to that you've been changing the job can verify whether you are a verified person where you have worked for so long time, isn't it, for what profile that you have been working, what skills that you have been working, what experience that you have been working, what Students, am I audible? Okay, okay. Thank you so much. So we'll resume further. So this is where we stopped, right? Okay. So when it comes to skills, you cannot put whatever skills come to your mind. Telling you cannot put if you are good in riding bikes, you cannot upload a skill telling that I am a good rider. No, there are certain skill sets such as you're a confident person or you are uh, carrying skills on Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word, isn't it? So these are some of the skills that you will have to update it. Say for example, if you're aware of Java programming, you can upload that, and you can put some of the languages that you have known. You can upload that. If you have done any financial uh, sessions to any of the colleges, you can do that. Okay, add your top skills so that the recruiters will find it uh, easy to hire you. Okay, get hired. So how do you contact with people? How do you make your LinkedIn uh, by having a conversation? Okay, so the first thing is getting a referral is still the best way to find a job. So 85% of the jobs get filled through referral. The more you have interaction with your seniors or you have known with your family friends, one or the if you have asked for 10 people, in that at least they would have at least the six, let's take an example, at least five members would have responded for that. Okay, the top way companies recruit is through employees referring people they know, because the company will be knowing what kind of employee he is, how well he been performing, and knowing someone else, they would be knowing yes, even that person would be highly uh, better with connecting the people. So how do you connect with people when you're searching for, when you have updated all the links that, say for example, if you have been graduated as a MBA grad in finance, you tend to find all the profiles you would have updated 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So you can find those seniors who have been in your college or have been working in your company for a long time. You try to connect with them. You try to drop them a message saying this is what I'm proceeding to connect. So there is an opportunity there where you can find jobs also at that time. So there are many advantages in LinkedIn. So learn what's out there by browsing job descriptions. When you find an option, there is something called a search icon where you can drop the companies. You can type about the company name. Say, for example, if you're interested with Wipro or TCS or Tata or whatever the company it is that you're dreaming about, you can search with the company and you'll find to you can see there it will be written like about, and then jobs available, people who are in your list, those who have the contacts in your list. So you can message with them, you can talk to them. How is the company? You can see the company culture. How is the company working? How long the company has been working for? And what are the different kinds of job roles that they provide? What are the kinds of job descriptions that are available? See, there are many things in this, isn't it? So that when you look into the job description, you get to know that what kind of these are the some of the job roles that your profile matches. They will also pop up in a LinkedIn profile telling that your profile matches 40%, your profile matches 50% for the job role that you have been applied. Have you ever faced this situation? So get inside the scoop to prepare for interviews. So when you have an interaction with some of the people, try to follow the companies, try to follow influencers especially. Try to follow the companies so that you get to know in and out of the companies. What are the things happening? Okay, what kind of sessions go take place, what kind of influencers, say for example, if you are connecting with a CEO or connecting with a manager of a company, you can have a conversation with him where you can ask whatever doubts you're getting, follow industries, become an expert by staying on top of trends and news, try to follow each and every business pages, try to follow what you have been looking for the job. Okay, so when you tend to follow all these kinds of things, you tend to build a rapport, you tend to build more connections. Try to follow the CEOs, what made them, they keep sharing their inputs, what made them to go to that situation, or some of them would be posting that they have got a new profile opening in this. So many job postings, the same way how Instagram works, the similar way even this also happens. Okay, so we come to the end of this session. The next one is please be online. There is another session that is, so we'll be learning on group discussions. Okay, okay. So the next thing what we'll be learning, till now what we have learned on business networking and LinkedIn, next we'll be learning on group discussions. I hope you're getting the session. Okay, so why do you think these group discussions are needed in the company? For what profile? Why is group discussions needed? What is the use of conducting group discussions in the company? Okay, so why is group discussion needed? To check how well you can handle the situations when you're on a topic, how well you can face the situation instantly, how well you can frame the questions and frame the sentences, then uh, you can answer it. Though you are in front of with your friends or a group of friends that you're sitting and discussing, why you tend to have nervousness. So we'll be learning all these things. Okay. So the course review is what is group discussion, what are its importance. We'll be learning about types, what are the evaluations, how the interviewers would go through when you're in this group discussion, what are the do's and don'ts, and what are the frequently asked questions. So let's keep getting further. What do you understand by group discussion? So it is a modern way of assessing students' personality. Most of the time, these things happens in colleges, where they tend to reduce time taking rather than taking interviews personally. They tend to reduce time using different techniques like this, where they tend to give you a specific tool or a topic where you can talk on that, and then they get to know how knowledgeable, how confident you are. Why is this group discussion important? What are the kinds of interview skills you have? How well you deliver the information? Are you being aggressive in your tone? Are you being aggressive in the body language? These things matters a lot. When it comes to group discussion, very minute things have a major impact. Then, what are the important facts of GD? Nearly 80% of the candidates would be rejected during a group discussion. Can I tell you how? None of them gives you an opportunity to speak in group discussions. You have to find your lead. You have to find your way of expressing things. Who takes first lead will become the leader. He gets more points actually when he's starting the topic, which means he's being very confident about the topic provided. Okay, so most of them will get rejected due to this. Why? Because there would be lack of confidence, there would be lack of communication, there would be lack of knowledge, where he's not suitable, where he would be very nervous, isn't it? So nearly 40% of the candidates will be rejected only because of their attitude and communication. When someone is talking, just be patient and listen. If you convert the group discussion as a debate, then you would be out of the group discussion. And whenever you're talking to someone else, have a proper eye contact, be humble, respect what others are giving the inputs on. Eye contact is very important during group discussion because many students got rejected due to lack of eye contact. Why this happens? When you're explaining something, look at your friends who's been with you, who's been uh, participating in the group discussion. When you're answering something, you need some of you. Most of the time, most of people tend to see walls here and there. They become conscious that the HR is walking around. There are chances where you tend to lose your jobs because of that. Also, you might be very much suitable for the profile, but very minute things, as I told, will have a major impact. So these are some of the kinds of group discussions where they tend to give you. First thing is factual topics. What do you understand by factual topics? Where like current trends it might be, where they tend to give you, say for example, most of the time before they used to give on note ban, and why they tend to give you regarding the COVID, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Okay, so these are some of the kinds where it is slightly resembles to uh, debates, where you find out pros and cons of that. What are the actual facts that can be used to proceed further with the topic? Then controversial and argumentative topics. These are some of the topics which is given to check how you react with patience. They give you controversies. What are the core controversies that happened recently? Say, for example, why drugs, why students are addicted to drugs, anything it might be related to those kind of topics where you tend to turn out little aggressive. The HRs will give these kind of topics to test how well you can handle the situation. These can be generic or specific topics which involve arguments. You tend to argue with your friends, you tend to raise your tone, you tend to use uh, aggressive tones to convince the person when he's not listening. Then comes to abstract topics. These are something kind of out of the box topics where what if this would be to check how creative you are, to check how well you can answer the question, how well you can frame things, how innovative you think. If you're given an idea, how vast you think, how wide your thinking ability is. That is how they test you. Case based topics. These are some of the kinds of case studies where they give you a particular situation that you'll have to face. Say, for example, you are given a situation that work from home is being hectic and you have to go to office and get things done, but the office is not open. You have to work from online. When you're given such kind of topics, how will you handle the situation? What are the pros and cons of it? What is the solution for the problem that has occurred? Most of the time, it would be on uh, problems itself, how well you can manage these problems, how well you can handle the situations. So these are some of the kinds of group discussions. And evaluation parameters where group discussion happens. First thing is, as I told, whoever raises the topic first will be getting the highest points, where he would be noted as, though you know about the topic or not, you would be taking the lead to start the session. You would be taking the lead to start the discussion. So first thing is communication, how well you can deliver things, how well you can uh, deliver what information you have, isn't it? Then comes to your attitude. How humble are you? How are you receiving the content provided by your friends? How are you receiving it? The way of reacting for the answer. Maybe your friend might have been told wrong, but you cannot tell upfront telling you are wrong. No, you cannot do that. You tend to slightly modify the way of communication. Maybe that can be slightly acceptable, but there might be small changes. That is how you try to rephrase your sentences when it comes to uh, communication, when it tends to understand the situation, what your friend is trying to say. They tend to check your attitude. How well are you behaving and how well are you good in interpersonal skills? And when you're framing certain the topics, or when you're raising information on certain topics, they try to check the content. How well are you knowledgeable about that specific content? Then they try to look at your body language, how well you are using your hand gestures, how well you're making others to understand what exactly the topic is all about. Isn't it? Just see very minute things. You'll not even know that someone is checking with all these things. First thing, always remember, when it comes to group discussions, you're not supposed to look at the HR. You're doing a group discussion, just concentrate on the content what you've been facing. Never ever check with what the HR is noting down, or you need not be conscious looking at the HR all the time, telling what he is going to mark next. Okay, so let us keep getting further. Let's go in brief how these parameters, what the HRs use. Main thing is use simple English, especially when people don't know how to communicate. Most of them tend to use a different dictionary kind of words. Never do that. Don't use high fancy vocabularies. Don't use foreign kinds of languages where someone can't understand. Try to be clear. Okay, when you're making clear, the opposite person can understand what content you have been giving. So for this, what are some of the techniques is reading English newspapers, not just English, be it anything. When you're reading newspapers, you get to know those words. You try to, even though you don't know the meaning of that word, by reading the sentence, you will get to know what exactly the word means. That is how you try to improve your techniques, improve your skills in communication. Thinking in English, watching English movies with subtitles. Yes, this also helps you. Most of the time, even watching English cartoons, especially when you're watching English cartoons, also will help you improve your not exactly cartoons, but I just meant that would be similar in same. Okay. Second thing is attitudes. How they would judge you based on the attitude. Speaking is secondary, but how you are speaking is something important. When it comes to topic, you cannot react aggressively like, yeah, this is the topic, I know. This is how it is. I know it is very easy. I understood. This is exactly it is. You cannot do that. The way of convincing people, how you make others understand the topic is most important thing. Attitude is another important parameter when it comes to group discussions. They tend to check how well are you giving the opportunity for others to speak. They tend to see how you're not overlapping on someone's talk. You're listening carefully. Carry a smile when you're responding to someone. Okay, not to put someone down during the discussion. When you're talking, even if your friend is not answering properly, you need not be sarcastic. You need not be sarcastic or putting your friend down to raise your points. Even that might lead to the negative marking. Accepting others' viewpoints, as I told you, even if it is wrong, try to accept it and rephrase it to the way you can. Just say that, yes, I accept your viewpoint. The way you have told us seems to be very nice, but what if it can be done in this manner? I thought this way would be good. So it should be like he should also get convinced. He or she should also get convinced with what you have been explaining. And similarly, at the same time, uh, you should also be knowing that yes, this is what it is, isn't it? So where it is kind of win-win situation, is it? Then be a good listener when others are speaking. This is one more important thing where you have to be. Always be patient when you're listening. Accept what someone is telling. Okay? Speak clearly when you're delivering some information. Make sure that you are not stubborn or showing harshness or increasing your tone to an aggressive volume. Okay? Even that helps in decreasing your points where you tend to lose your job. Okay. Third thing is interpersonal skills. As I told you, leadership quality. Whoever knows the topic, who tends to raise themselves first and then tend to explain what the topic is, will be getting the most point, which means you're being confident enough. You're being confident enough to understand what exactly the topic is. You tend to manage the team, you tend to manage the group, isn't it? These are some of the things. And next thing is content. How well are you prepared? Not everyone gives you exactly this is the content you have to talk immediately. No, if you don't know about the topic, wait for some time, know about that. You cannot google, sit and google over there, but try to analyze what others are telling and then start talking. Okay, always, most of the time group discussions would be based on general awareness, the daily routine topics, whatever is going on, the daily things that is happening in and around you. So always make sure that you are watching news, reading newspapers, that you are aware about what the current affair is. Okay. Fifth thing, when you're in a body language, make sure that you're sitting properly. Okay. Do not show uninterrupted gestures like keeping your legs apart, or putting your hand on your shoulder, you're on your friend's shoulder. Okay. These are some of the things which looks very negative when it comes to group discussions. Or don't try to have a conversation with mouth to ear conversations. Don't try to whisper in someone's ears when you're in a uh, group discussions, because you're not playing a debate where to and fro happens. You're facing the discussion for individually. Okay, you are getting the job, so make sure that you are having your own inputs with yourself. Okay, make sure that the gesture seems to be simple. Don't wave your hands too much. Your sitting procedures. So these are some of the don'ts that you are supposed to follow, where you tend to sit back, you tend to lean, you tend to slouch on your chair. Okay, please don't try to do this. So these are some of the do's or pros of group discussions when you're in the session. Okay, so what are the do's? Speak pleasantly, be polite when you're having a conversation. Be polite, be humble with the person whom you've been talking to. Okay, respect to the contribution of every speaker, though he might be nervous, though he might be very lack in knowledge. Give respect to each and everyone, be it if it even if it is your friends. When you're having a normal conversation, your friends would be different, and when you're in a group discussion, your friends would be completely different. There will be a different genre, they all will be in a different genre where someone, they would be conscious on thinking about what to answer. So make sure that you maintain that professionalism when you are in that such kind of situations. Okay, and remember that a discussion is not an argument. Always, most of the students tend to do this. Always make sure that you are discussing with your friends. It is not a group argument, it is a group discussion. So make sure that you try to agree with what someone is telling, and make sure to calm the person down so that you can make him understand. Okay? Think about your contribution before you speak, how best you can answer it, how well you can frame the questions on. Okay? Try to stick with the topic what is provided to you. Do not go out of the track. Okay, make sure that you are in the point. Don't try to deviate yourself giving too many examples or situations. The topic would go outward. Make sure, even if anyone is going apart from the topic, make sure frame the answers in such a way that you can bring back the person to the topic. Okay, be aware of your body language when you're speaking. Don't try to point out with someone else with your finger, telling no, you're wrong, no, don't do that. That is some of the things where you would be getting negative marks. Okay, make sure that you are humble, carry a smile on your face. Okay, and try to be clear with what you are speaking. Don't try to use sarcasm over there, because even though if it's your friends, you are being monitored. So agree with it and acknowledge what you are finding interesting. Rise up with that topic that is feeling impressed by yourself. Why do you want to follow that procedure? Okay, these are some of the don'ts. Okay, as I told you, never lose your temper just because your friend is not listening to you. Make sure that you're using a humble, polite tone where you can talk to the person where you can make him understand, uh, where you tend to make the person understand what kind of tone he is using. Don't try to shout. Make sure that you are being clear, or whatever you're talking is being perfectly delivered to the person who's sitting in and around you in the group. Okay, using too many gestures when you speak, like pointing, as I told you, that is, or beating the table. Yes, this is what I was agreeing. That means it shows that how aggressive you are. They tend to mark that you are aggressive. When you're given a simple task, you try to take it completely competitive and you try to find it in a different manner, where you try to dominate others. You should be confident, but that doesn't mean you have to dominate others. Okay, confident speakers should allow quieter students a chance to contribute. When you are confident enough, when you know completely about the topic, when others are discussing and when someone is quiet, give them a chance. Wait for their chance, what inputs they would provide. That is how a leadership quality increases, where where you yourself not growing, where you're helping the others also to grow along with you. Okay, do not draw any kind of topics to your personal things. Although some tutors encourage students to reflect on their own experience, but most of the time please don't do that. Okay, never ever interrupt with anyone. When someone is giving their own topics, please try to wait until and unless someone is answering. There is no need to uh, interrupt someone just because you are given a specific time and you have to complete the task. No, try to be humble, wait patiently, listen to what your friend is been telling, and then, even though if you feel that he is being wrong, try to raise your hand that you would like to give a word telling this is my input. Okay, that is how you try to improve your communication. That is how you try to improve your leadership skills, especially. Okay, next comes the success mantras. These are some of the success mantras where you can follow so that you can clear the group discussion. How are you going to get it done? Make yourself get noticed. Make sure that the HR is highly concentrated on you, where he gets that impression is yes, this is the right person suitable for the job profile. He should feel that. Be the first speaker on the topic. As I told you, whoever raises the topic first, whoever takes the stand first, will be getting a huge marks, because that shows how intelligent you are, how well you are well versed with the communication, or how well versed are you with the topic. Got it? Engage in meaningful discussions. What do you understand by engage in meaningful discussions? Take live examples happening. Try to relate with that examples. Okay. Try to control your emotions. Fourth mantra, where you have to control your emotions, though it might go personal. Try to be polite. Make the other person understand what you have been training on. Okay. And building a consensus. What do you understand by building a consensus? It means you're building a rapport, isn't it? You try to build a rapport, you try to uh, keep the information concise. Okay. Capability to coordinate and lead. What is this capability? When you yourself are talking and you're giving your own inputs, then what? When is the chance that you're giving for your friends to speak? Isn't it? You try to be, you try to stop others and then give them a lead, telling, okay, now it's your turn. What we would like to hear things in your way, isn't it? So when you're giving a lead, it means that you are a good team leader, where you're giving an equal and opportunity chance to each and everyone to give their own inputs. It's not just building a point for yourself, but also you're building a point for your teammates, isn't it? So exchange of thoughts. Try to listen, articulate what you're about to answer. When you're giving another's option, you'll have that space to understand what exactly you would prefer to answer on, isn't it? Exchange the thoughts. This is how my point of view is. I would like to hear what your point. Would you like to agree on what you have been, what we have been telling, isn't it? Addressing the group as whole. Make sure that if that group is yours, try to address it, that group is yours, and you try to address each and everyone, not pointing at one person. Okay, so these are some of the 9 successful mantras that you'll have to follow every time. First thing, I'll make a recap, that is, get yourself noticed. Second thing, be the best speaker. Try to raise your voice first. Third thing, engage in meaningful discussions. Do not drag out to another information. Okay, control your emotions. Though if it is going controversial, try to maintain it properly. Be conscious. Okay, and capable to coordinate. How well you're going to lead the team. Be assertive. Make sure that you're giving live examples and then exchange the thoughts. Try to listen carefully. Okay, build a rapport building with all your teammates. What information could be shared? Be patient when you're answering and address the group as a whole. All right, then these are some of the very simple topics that was always being asked. English must remain an official language in India. These are some of the frequent ones. So, what do you understand by this? Our India has so many wide variety of languages where English must remain as an official language, isn't it? Each and every state has its own language. Then, do women make good managers? Not all managers are men. There are uh, women managers. The best managers are women. Why? Because they, even though they are not educated, especially when it comes to mothers, they are the best managers who are not getting paid, but still they try to manage each and everything on time from morning, waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning until the night, uh, when it's bedtime. She tries to organize, she tries to manages things very well, isn't it? How well she manages things, at what time if she start cooking, what time will be for breakfast, isn't it? If your breakfast is at 9, she tries to wakes up at 7 and she tries to cook things, isn't it? That's how it is. You have to frame things, you can relate things to others. Then, is a coronavirus a secret Chinese bio warfare weapon? This is the most frequently asked question. Why is it is called as bio war? Why is coronavirus called as a bio war? Coronavirus is not something that has come from bats or anything. It is known as a bio war, isn't it? So, do you think that is it a human made virus, or is it a virus that is come from animals? So they give you a topic on that, telling you can rephrase it on yourself. Due to that, you get to know whether it is a man-made virus or a human-made virus, or is it a virus which has been come from uh, other animals by consuming or by eating it, or whichever way it might be. Okay, then water resources should be nationalized. Then what are the educational policy of India? Now what are the recent educational policies that is being done due to online courses, where uh, students from first standard to fifth standard are not supposed to have online classes more than 4 hours or more than 5 hours. So these are some of the kinds of educational policies that has been brought. So for all these things, you'll have to be very well versed with the information that you have been providing. You have to be very well versed with the current affairs, especially. Okay, so these are some of the topics. There are some more topics that are asked in the group discussions. For all of the above, make sure that you are well versed with the current affairs. Always watch news channels or try to read the newspapers so that you try to get updated on what topic you are, and you will. It will help you out to take a lead. It will help you out to take a lead, telling these are the things. So that is how you gain points. Okay. So thank you so much for being very patient for 2 hours and listening to the session. So this is the last day. I hope everyone have found the session very interesting. So if there is any doubt from any point of view, I am free to answer you all. Please feel free to ask whatever doubts you have. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really a nice session with you all. I wish you a very best of luck and hope everyone fits in a very good positions with all beautiful packages and best places where you can build your career. Okay. Thank you so much and have a great day.